Welcome back, everyone, and I'm still here with Ajai Peets, the co-founder of Bermuda Youth Connect. And right now we're actually going to go into representation, and the first one we're going to talk about is women in politics. Now, Ajai, how do you feel about the representation right now in this current government?
Well, if you look at it statistically wise, the FDM shows a proper representation of women. And I feel as though that our government should be a reflection of what our society looks like. And our population is majority women. It's just slightly over 50%, I believe. And if you look at the OBA and the PLP, it doesn't really reflect that. I know that they have expressed that they're looking into expanding it and opening their doors to everybody of all walks of life. But I feel as though there still needs to be work done.
Yeah.
And that's a global thing as well. It's not just in Bermuda. There needs to be more women in politics, I believe.
But why do you think that more women aren't in politics right now? Do you think it's a lack of interest, or do you think it's more of, never giving that opportunity of being talked to?
I think it's a mixture of many different components: opportunity, exposure, or just maybe even stereotypes. I feel as though a lot of our women representatives are not given the opportunities to have portfolios, and most of them are given to men. Most of them, if they do win their seat, are just representatives.
Exactly. And also when it comes to women in politics, as you mentioned, the discrepancies of each party, FDM does have a little bit over 50%, I believe, and then PLP, OBA have a lack. They said that they're working on it, but let's be real, we're in the year 2020 now. Right. And how long have they been telling people that this is something that they're working on and it's just not coming into fruition? So what is, your opinion on the statement saying that this is something they're working on, but again, like I said, year 2020?
I think that they need to take a look at their candidate interviewing process and lean more towards a more diverse outlook, and also consider more women who are interested. And a lot of women I believe in most of the parties are in administrative roles or on boards or are volunteering and are involved in the PLP or the OBA or other parties for long periods of times. And I feel like maybe they could just go to the people that they already have access to and give them an opportunity to potentially run.
Yeah, that's an interesting point to look at it, because behind the scenes of everything is a lot of administration with quite a lot of women. I know personally, being contacted through different emails from each party, it's generally women that always
and you'll be surprised, especially women who work directly with the government are exposed to everything that happens in the political process. And I'm sure that they would have the capability to probably take their post a step forward.
Yeah. So as we go on to talk more about women in representation, women in representation in politics, what's something that really speaks to heart for you as to pushing this agenda?
Well, I feel as though we also need to look to our younger generation, and I feel as though I benefited from such a great education in terms of my parents instilling in me the knowledge of all the powerful women in Bermuda, and I had access to all of these books and everything. So from a young age, I've always been around all of these great women, and one in particular who had a big impact on my life was Dame Jennifer Smith. So I feel as though we need to stress the importance of representation of women and all different types of people, no matter their background, because we need to have a reflection of our society to empower the younger generation, so that way they can look at it and say, I can do that too.
Awesome. Well, how do you feel about the other representation, as you just mentioned, about the young population? There's not many young people running any of these candidates and constituencies. There's maybe 2 or 3 on each party that's under 30 years old, or maybe even sometimes none.
I feel like when it comes to a candidate interviewing process, that they tend to look at candidates who are picture perfect, who have experience in the community, experience in different sectors that can bring different components to the table. And I feel as though they may overlook young people because they don't really see that we have any of those values in terms of experience. But I feel as though a lot of young people, we bring a lot of fresh ideas. And I feel like right now, especially in 2020, we need more of that. We need more fresh ideas to move Bermuda forward.
Do you also think there should be some sort of, let's say, program where right after you finish university, that we're incorporated into these businesses, into these political rounds, because like you said, let's say maybe the opportunity is not there for some persons to be in that role, but for younger people, we need to get ourselves in there. But normally when we come back home from universities and things, we don't get a job right away because they say we need experience. But we have those fresh ideas, young ideas right there in our heads, and we can't give them anywhere because nobody wants someone without experience.
I completely agree with you, and I feel like people kind of denote the quality of academic experience. I know plenty of young people who have 2 master's degrees in engineering or the sciences, and to obtain those degrees, they have to do strenuous amounts of research and also have actual practical experience as well. And I feel as though on an international perspective, it kind of puts them out beyond a lot of the experiences that a lot of young people have here in Bermuda. So I would see them as an asset, and you would want to give them the opportunities to kind of push those global perspectives in Bermuda to kind of become more innovative.
Mm-hmm. And how would you feel about like having the opportunity, but making sure that you're actually paying us for ideas and not just using it as an excuse for experience just because they're young?
Right, and that's one thing that definitely frustrates me, when you put in the time and the finances to get these degrees. So wouldn't you want to be compensated for all of that time and effort and finances that you put into getting those degrees? And honestly, sometimes I feel like it's a slap in the face when somebody who comes back with all of these qualifications and they're given such a low salary or hourly wage, and they're looking to source out different opportunities to just make ends meet. It's definitely a shame.
Thank you. Yeah. And we'll be right back after this.